This is overtime on OSN. It's Lieber Sage, Tanner Ryle with you. And the Ottawa Senators break a 4-game losing streak. You know what? There's a little applause there.
Stick taps?
Yeah. Something. Anything. I mean, barely held on to beat the worst team in the league, but they did. 2-1 over the Vancouver Canucks. And we are here on OSN.
Hopefully uninterrupted this time.
Oh, it will be. Well, I will interrupt you. It's just
I like that kind. That kind's
right,
okay.
that kind's okay. The last interruption, not so good. But 2-1, the Ottawa Senators defeat the Vancouver Canucks, completely outplay the Canucks, outshot them. Canucks, to me, Tanner, hardly were in this game. This is a bad hockey team. But right now for Ottawa, that doesn't matter whatsoever. They needed a win desperately, and they got it. What was your first take on the game?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Vancouver, just watching them, that's a bad hockey team.
Cool.
And
they're so bad.
We don't have much of, the Sens don't have much high ground to stand on right now. They need wins no matter what.
Right.
We can't be looking down on any teams, but that was a bad hockey team. And Ottawa really needs to get the win there.
I just wanted to start the program off and show some consistency with
please do.
with where we are.
It's gonna break it sooner or later.
Well,
every time I say the word "we" out in public, I'm just gonna shudder a little bit.
I got a lot of words like that out in public, but you're right. For Ottawa, it doesn't matter who they played. It doesn't matter if they won 10-0 or 2-1. They won a hockey game to stop some of the bleeding. I mean, the Canucks have now lost 8 in a row, but Ottawa gets back on the right track. And who do they do it from? How about Artem Zub and Jordan Spence with the goals 15 seconds apart?
It's a good thing we don't have any gambling sponsorships. We would have lost some people money today telling them who to bet on for scores or anything like that.
So that's good. Already, our new chat is working.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which doesn't make a difference for them, but we've got our chat in StreamYard. I did some work on the back end now. We had a very not optimized stream running through YouTube, but it's much better now. We can actually schedule it ahead of time if you guys saw that.
Yep.
Do the thumbnails. So I know you did a whole football stream earlier today with Duke, and the whole time it said Panthers Senators post-game show.
Well, I didn't want to confuse the listener, the viewer, and I just wanted Duke to... He's not the biggest Senators fan. He's a big Leafs fan. So that probably ties into it a little bit. However, it's nice that our first text came in about, a criticism.
The camera, yeah.
No, it's true. We're working on the presentation here.
Definitely.
And we'll show you a little bit about that presentation a little bit later on. But how about for Ottawa, the same play twice in 15 seconds? And that's the whole night. It was crazy. It literally was the exact same play.
You watch 15 seconds of this hockey game and you basically get the whole story.
It looks like if you're watching the highlights. Oh, yeah, no, I already saw that goal. Where's the other goal? No, that is the other goal.
I guess they found a weak spot on Lankinen and they tried it again. And I feel like lately we've seen that a little bit with the Sens goalies on the other end of that. I've noticed a little bit with Merlainen. Shots from distance seem to be a bit of an issue. And against Florida, we saw a couple of those go in.
Right.
Bit of an observation that I had. So, yeah, just that same play over and over again. They found a leak spot on Kevin Lankinen and they tried to exploit it. But it wasn't a bad night for either of the goalies by any means. First time in a while at the CTC, we've seen actually a fairly good goalie performance on both ends of the ice.
Yeah, Merlainen didn't have to be great.
No.
Tonight. I don't really remember any
He had the one glove save, I think, in the third, but aside from that,
I guess that's a flashy.
it's better than what we've seen recently from him.
Yeah, but
it's a step in the right direction because I believe in the last 4 games he was walking into this with an .820 save percentage in the last 4 games. So,
and what do you have tonight? It was we could just show people. Let's bring up our stats. Brought to you by Tanner Ryle tonight. Looking for a sponsor, but right now I think Tanner Ryle is a pretty good sponsor. As we bring up our stats,
you got to pick the right image for the media.
I know I need to.
There we go. We did it.
And Tanner's still in the picture. Get in the picture.
Oh yeah, we got to get closer now. Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, I know. But that's TV for you. Anytime you think you're too close to somebody, they will tell you to move closer in TV. Like uncomfortably close does not look uncomfortably close
right
on the camera. Like it's fairly close here on the camera. It doesn't really seem like that at all. But look at our fancy new graphic. And most of the people that are in here, Ben and Chris and you and everyone had a little part of this. But as you can see, the final score is 2-1. The shot's 40-19 in favor of the Senators tonight, who got the only bad break they got was that they went 0-for-2 in the power play because Connor Garland took a penalty with like 24 seconds to go in the game, which counts as an 0-for-2, which it really should. But look at that save percentage. 947 for Levi Merolainen, but how about 951 for Lankinen after those 2 goals in 15 seconds? He was really good tonight.
He was. I think both goalies had a solid night tonight.
Yeah.
Especially Lankinen.
The hits pretty much even. Ottawa with a little bit more, 25-21. They win in that category. And we mixed up the face-off percentage.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, that's too bad. But that's okay. Ottawa actually won 60% of the draws. And that was surprising because every time I watched Claude Giroux take a draw tonight again, he won it again. Like he was like his usual self tonight. Let's see. Yeah, 8-1 in the dot.
Not a big math guy, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, he was 11-1 last game. He doesn't lose very many draws. In fact, I would say right now that he
leads the league, I'm pretty sure.
But
face-offs.
He's their best player right now.
Oh, for sure.
Like the last couple of games, you notice Claude Giroux everywhere on the ice, whether he's barking to somebody. They had him on with Brady tonight again, kind of barking, but he was fantastic. Had a couple of good chances. He's just so good in those situations, like the calm.
He's playing with more heart than anybody right now.
Z Gibbon is in, says, happy birthday to you, Mr. Soublier. This isn't just shout outs to anybody that you want, Z Gibbon. Like, bring something. And he says, well, he's bringing it. Can confirm what Lee is saying about being close on TV. That's showbiz today, or baby.
He knows, the Your TV, Belleville. It's a big network.
Hold on. I'm just going to check our numbers right now to see who's watching. I think it's the same as the people.
It might be higher, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same as the people that watch his broadcasts in Belleville. But, I mean, that's why we're all teaming together,
yeah,
right?
Maybe we'll let him on here in a couple weeks or something.
Double those numbers. I'll tell you. Yeah, this was what I would call an unremarkable game.
Yeah, not a lot of calls even. Like, it didn't seem overly physical. Not a lot going on offensively.
Well, Vancouver's only penalty that they took before the one with 24 seconds to go was a over the glass.
Right, on Hronek.
Penalty. And we'll talk about him in a minute. And then Ottawa had the one penalty as well. That was just...
It was the slash on Giroux.
Claude Giroux.
Which was, to me, it was more Zeev Williams not gripping his stick tight enough and coasting in on one
or
hand.
At all. Like with one hand. I don't even know how he was going to play the puck. He had such a loose grip on his stick.
Yeah. And, Claude Giroux's never met a call that he's liked, but he definitely didn't like that one.
Lee, about to drive home. Say hi to Tanner, will you, Ethan? Was going to add this before I do. It was locked onto Brady all night. Brady and Cousins were the worst players on the ice, and it wasn't even close. Well, the good part about Tanner being here live with me is that he gets I didn't do it very much tonight. I usually do it a little bit more, but he'll get you got to come and watch this. This is just terrible. Like, and even if it's a goal that doesn't go in or something, I'm like, this is such a bad play. And I showed you the Dylan Cousins one. They were in their end. They were defending. Everything was good. They were all in position. And then Dylan Cousins goes out of position, goes behind the net. He gets the puck. Great. He backhands it to where he left. And there was nobody there. And then who gave away the puck on the goal? That would be Dylan Cousins.
I think there were about 3 Dylan Cousins plays that you paused on the broadcast today.
He is just atrocious defensively. And it's not when somebody's like really trying and they make a mistake, that's one thing. But in these type of games, the last thing you could do is afford, he gave Vancouver the goal pretty much.
Right.
You just can't do those things because as a coach, you go back to that player and you go, so what exactly were you thinking when you left your position, got the puck, and then backhanded the puck up the boards to right where you were? Who did you expect to be there? I'm assuming the answer is, because I don't know what the answer would be. And so there's a reason he's the worst plus minus on the team. Drake Batherson's really happy he's on the team. Oh, that's me. That's me. Drake Batherson's been a little bit better defensively. But these are the type of things, like in these games, I would agree. So I'm glad, Ethan, you were at the game. You were kind of locked on to Brady. I just didn't really notice him tonight. Not in a good way or a bad way. I didn't think he was horrible, but maybe that's probably a bad thing that I didn't notice the captain in another big game.
And that's the pattern lately, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just he's invisible. There's nothing out there. This team needs somebody to drag them into the fight. And right now it's Claude Giroux that's trying to do that. And no offense to 38-year-old Claude Giroux, but he's not the same as prime Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah. Brady Tkachuk did have 5 shots on goal. He had 2 hits tonight, a giveaway, 1 block, and was 1 for 3 in the faceoff dot.
Can we get a check on Timmy here as well? I want to know, did he break that shots on goal thing?
Yes, he also had, of course, now you've asked me and I got my glasses.
It's on your monitor. It's not on mine, so it's not my fault.
It's right there in front of you. You got young eyes. 6 shots on goal.
Okay.
For Tim Stützle tonight. Because he had 1 attempt in the last 2 games.
Right.
1 attempt.
So that's good to see. Doesn't convert on it, but we'll take it.
Yeah. 2 giveaways for Timmy, but 6 shots on goal. Ottawa had the puck tonight.
Yeah.
A ton because Vancouver didn't, right? And that, again, this is no, Ottawa needed to win. And I don't care who they played and how they won and all that. They just needed a win. But you're kind of hanging on at the end against the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great.
A lot of pushback from Vancouver towards the end there.
Yeah, they got their legs when they scored. They're like, oh, you're going to give us a goal? Okay, well, maybe we'll try to actually win. But during the game, you're watching both teams, and I hope everybody is when they're watching this. They're watching both teams going, okay, well, who's available? And are both teams in that spot? We saw on Insider Trading that, the usual, I think Steve Staios is going to wait 7 to 10 games and see where he is. Well, yeah, that takes us pretty much right up to the Olympic break. And that 7 to 10 games really is right at the end of like Carolina, Vegas, Colorado, all those teams. They play those 3 teams back to back to back.
Yeah.
In about a week and a half. So, yeah, I'd say I'd take stock of my team, I guess, at that point as well. But this is how we talk, though, about other teams. And that's what I hope people understand. Is like, I know that the Ottawa fan right now still thinks like maybe we're in it and if we can win a few games. But the rest of the league is looking and calling the Senators to see like, you're pretty much out of it. Like, what do you got?
Right.
There aren't very many sellers. People are certainly calling the Vancouver Canucks.
It's tough with just how middling the league is this year.
Yeah.
Like actual sellers, you've got the Canucks.
Yeah.
The Predators, even, they've picked it up. They're over 500, so they're probably not selling. You maybe got the Calgary Flames.
Steven Stamkos with goal 602 tonight.
Right.
Markham boy. Good Markham boy.
Yeah. You got the Calgary Flames. You've probably got the St. Louis Blues. Chicago might make a move. Bedard's, just starting to come back. I know I missed last night with the flu. But yeah, teams are going to start calling if they're not already on Sens players. And I think at the top of that list that they're probably asking about is the guy that looked the best tonight in Claude Giroux.
You said to me, I'd hate to see him in a Montreal Canadiens uniform. And I don't know if I'm Ottawa, if I'm obviously overpricing him to the Montreal Canadiens to have him go to Montreal. But the problem there is that if you went to Claude, it seems like a place that he would not look. I don't want to talk out of turn because I haven't talked to Claude and all that stuff.
Of course.
If he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to go.
The rumors were there in the summer, and of course they were rumors. But,
but if he doesn't want to go, because I think whether he's got a no move or not, like whatever's in his contract, you are going to that guy.
He has a no move.
Yeah, but you're going regardless. It wouldn't matter. You're going to that guy out of respect,
of course,
for what he has done and what he means to your franchise, and saying like, what would you like to do? But I could see Claude Giroux saying yes to a Montreal Canadiens team that has a better chance right now than the Ottawa Senators of doing something in the playoffs. He would look awfully good. He'd look awfully good with any team. He's just he can win every face-off. There was a sequence tonight, and Ethan, you were at the game, so maybe you saw this. There's 3 draws in about 12 seconds. Giroux goes in, wins the draw clean, back to the point. It gets knocked out of play. Okay, draw same side. Giroux wins the draw clean. Whatever happens, it gets knocked out of play again. 3rd draw in the same spot. And you're like, okay, well, Brady's going to take it this time. And then Brady loses it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is Brady taking that one? Oh, we'll give him a new look. Well, you'll give him the puck? You'll start them with the puck?
He's so valuable to that team.
He is one of those kind of 5-tool players. Like, he does so many things for your team.
Such a smart player. Like, he doesn't have the leg speed anymore. You saw it on the breakaway tonight where he tried that move. You know, Claude Giroux of 10 years ago is past that guy and it's in the back of the net 100% of the time. But he's such a smart player.
Ben's back in on the chat. Cousins looks like he moves in slow motion. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And it's he's a big, lanky guy. And we always say that about big, lanky guys, that they don't skate the way that others skate. But he still looks like he's moving in slow motion.
Right.
Levi looked good, says Ethan.
Levy. We got to break that one too. If you're going to be on me on stuff, I got to get you on names. You know, we broke the Takeshita on This Is Wrestling.
It's Takeshita.
Takeshka is what you used to say, though.
I know.
Levy, not Levi. He's not a pair of jeans.
Maybe I just want him to be Levi. Maybe it's... Okay. Levy.
There we go.
Mr. Marilainen, to me, looked good despite not seeing too many shots, and the best player was Giroux. Is all over the place and all over the puck tonight. Ethan also said that a certain alternate captain. People get on me about saying assistant captain, and it's like,
it's basically what it is.
Thank you. Thomas Chabot. I noticed Ethan, and I said this to Tanner, and Tanner said it back to me. He did not look very good tonight. Thomas Chabot.
He hasn't been great recently. I know he's coming off from a relatively recent injury, but he's been noticeably off. I'll try to get his stats from the last.
Ben says you don't help your division rivals. You don't help them in what regard, Ben? Trying to think who Matt Murray got traded to. Oh, right. Oh, but that was helping your division rivals by trading Matt Murray, right?
So since Chabot looked really good against Winnipeg, he had the 2 goals in that game.
Yep.
Since then, he's pointless. And in those 5 games, not counting tonight, -3, -2, -3, +1.
That's -7.
And his time on ice looks a little bit shorter than what I would expect from Thomas Chabot.
About what, 18, 19 minutes?
Okay, no, he's closer to like the 1921 mark. Never mind. Scratch that.
Zach says, speaking of Markham, Lee, the Trenton Golden Hawks beat the Markham Royals 4-3 this afternoon. Well, who the hell plays a Tuesday afternoon game to start with, Zach? And why would Markham be ready for a Tuesday afternoon mid-January tilt against a has-been no-good team like the Trenton Golden Hawks? That would be like the Ottawa Senators bragging that they won tonight. I wouldn't be bragging about this victory if I were them. I'd be thankful for this victory. Do you like our stat sheet, Zach? It's nice, eh? Ethan says, I remarked on that to my friend. I didn't understand why Brady went for that draw. See? We're on the same page. I didn't understand it either. And Shabby is pointless. You're right, Tanner. I think he was meaning a different pointless. But my guy,
Artem Zub?
yeah, scored tonight. And I was really happy about that.
I can tell. You were jumping up doing the Zub chant.
Yeah, well.
Talking about how he's your second favorite all-time Senator behind Volchenkov, I think was your words.
I think I did compare him to Anton Volchenkov, who hit people and didn't speak to the media, so he was a cult hero. Kind of like Zub, who doesn't speak to the media and is a cult hero. That's all you have to do. Is like not be from Canada, don't speak the language, tell people you don't speak the language.
Have a funny last name is optional.
Yeah, I mean, Volchenkov was always like, you'd go in the locker room and he would be, oh, no. So you wouldn't talk to him. And then you'd hear all the people like, oh, I just ran into Volchi at the gas station. Oh, we had a great conversation. And like people are in conversation with him for 10 minutes because of course they are. Because he spoke English just fine. However, he was the A train. He rocked people, though.
Another guy who scored tonight, I like Jordan Spence's game a lot. Aside from the goal, I found a couple of times where he was... One thing, we talked about this in the Colorado game. He puts the puck on the net.
All the time. And so this is probably a player that I feel like I don't have this massive opinion on, because when the Senators have the puck, he's actually quite good. And he understands, I don't need the big shot. I just need to get it to the net. I mean, you watch Zub score from the same spot, so he's like, I'm going to try. Which his shot actually went through the defenseman's legs, and I think it was a little bit more of a screen. The Zub one, Lincoln should have had. But he puts the puck on the net, wrist shot, just getting it to the net all the time. I can see metrics why people like Jordan Spence. But also, when the Ottawa Senators don't have the puck and Jordan Spence is in his own end, I do not like Jordan Spence.
No.
So I have that. Like, I get why he's on the team, and I get why you're playing him more, and I get the metrics and all of that stuff. But I also saw a Florida team the other night. Like, they're just bigger, heavier. And when teams like that are down in your end and you don't have the puck, if you're the Senators, Jordan Spence is not taking the puck off of you. He's waiting for you to make a play to try and get going again. So I just have this, I see why people like him. I see why he's on the ice. He's probably better than a couple of guys that they have, but man, you play a good team and the other team cycling the puck, Jordan Spence has no chance. So yeah, the stats look good tonight. Z Gibbon.
Even though the faceoffs are wrong, but we couldn't have it be perfect the first time, you know?
But look at the colors.
It's beautiful.
Look at the OSN graphic as part of it.
The branding.
Everything is spot on. It's almost, it would be too good to be true if there wasn't something.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice logo too.
It is a nice logo. I like it so much. We'll take it off for a second and go back to the chat. Highlights of the game. Levy. Even though there's two E's in it. Levy needed that win. Looked solid. Bailed the team out a few times. Gotta say, Greg looked great. He shut down everything, and Sanderson obviously was great. Jake Sanderson plays at a level right now where his average game is so much better than most.
Oh, we can show the comments.
Oh, I like that.
Doesn't work great with the camera angle because it cuts us off, but
well, we could stand up. No, I'm not going to stand up.
Something to work on. Maybe we can get it at the top.
I'm not going to
somehow.
stand up just because Ethan. No.
I just saw the show button and I had to try it.
Yeah, no, that's
what we're doing. This is the
workshop, maybe, baby.
The early access streams. You're part of an exclusive club if you have this link right now.
Yes, people feel so fortunate.
Well, I know.
They're so lucky.
Please come and watch and tell us what we're doing wrong.
But I mean, it is Ben's birthday, so happy birthday, Ben. I hope you heard it earlier. We had some technical problems. I think it's 38 going on 58.
Wow.
You said 68, and I'm like,
oh,
no.
Come on. Don't throw me under the bus there. Yeah, my birthday's coming up too. Mine is on the same day as our Le Champion, Chris Thompson. We share a birthday.
Let me get this straight. What do you think defines coming up?
I guess 3 months.
My birthday's next week. Is that coming up?
Well, there we go.
No, but like, I don't even know if we're in the coming up stage for mine yet.
I think yours so. A week is pretty.
Yours is coming up. It's in April.
Okay. Everyone in my family has late birthdays. So to me, it feels like it's coming up, I guess.
Look, I would love to be in April already and out of this hell.
Lee's turning 60 next Wednesday.
Sorry, what's so funny? The good news is when
we can pin that one on the screen.
Yeah, see, exactly. That one will fit just fine, won't it?
Yeah, it's a nice short one. Oh, no, reaching across the desk.
If you knew how to work
there we go. That fits great.
Now, the good news here is if I told everybody listening right now that no matter how old I'm going to turn, I act so much younger. My maturity level is so much younger. Would everyone right now listening agree with that?
I think so.
Yeah. Check mark from Tanner, check mark from Ben, check mark from Ethan and Zach. Oh, Zach will be double, triple check marks. Right? Well, it's a compliment for younger people. It's like, Tanner, you know what? You're 24, right?
Yep.
You're turning 25.
Right.
But you have a maturity about you. You act a little bit older, and that's a compliment for a young person. Zach's 28 going on 78. I think we can all agree with that. But like, he's an old soul, but that's a compliment as well for how people act.
Got a few check marks there in the comments.
Yeah, wait till he hears that last comment, see if there's check marks about the 70. But Zach's an old soul, but you guys act very mature for your age.
On camera.
When you get older, I'm not sure it's as much of a compliment. Like if somebody said to me like, hey, you're turning, I won't say, but like, you're turning this. Oh yeah, no, I could see it. Actually, you act at least that much, maybe older. Is that a compliment?
Yeah, maybe not.
At my age, probably not. So yeah, a lot of check marks there from Zach about.
From Z Gibbon.
All right, let's get back to the game here. And for the Ottawa Senators, they finally get a couple of points. And the next question would be, and I would love everyone listening now, whether it's Ethan or Ben or Zach, who are you starting tomorrow night? If you had a game plan that you were going to come in with Mr. Marilainen, which is now what I'm going to call him, because how do you have two E's in your name and say Levy?
You're from Finland.
I guess it's a sauna, not a sauna. Sauna. Everyone from Finland. Oh, had that drilled into me by some Finnish hack on another station. You know who that is?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. I'll tell you off the air.
Cool.
If you came in with a game plan for Mr. Marilainen, did tonight with the light workload and how good he looked, would it change if you were going to start James Reimer tomorrow and that was the long-term plan? Would it change with what happened here tonight?
It's a tough one to grade because he faced like so little shots and he's a young goaltender. If you ask him if he's good to start, he's probably going to say yes. Just like the Colorado game last week. And the Rangers are obviously not the Colorado Avalanche.
No, there is quite a discrepancy between
just
those two
a little
teams.
bit, probably a few points separating them in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really tough one,
Because to your point, we discussed this a little bit earlier, but to your point, so if Travis Green walks in and I'm Levi.
Levy.
Oh man, did I say it wrong?
Takeshka.
There was a point where I wasn't saying Takeshka on purpose. Then at the very end, I started saying it on purpose. But I think I'm going to stick with Levi for a bit, just to. We'll see. But Mr. Merolainen, if I'm Mr. Merolainen and the coach walks in, hey, like, how are you feeling? This is my answer. I'm feeling like you have no option. I'm starting tomorrow night, and I am the number one goaltender on this team, and I am going to get this team back to where, because I am going to be really good here down the stretch, and I feel good about tonight. I feel good about tomorrow, and I am your guy. I am the number one goalie on this team right now until Linus gets back. Levi and Linus. There's a lot of Lees going on. Until Allmark gets back, I'm the number one guy. There is no discussion. That's what I'm saying to the coach. Regardless of what the coach decides, it's Travis Green, but that's what I'm saying. Even if I'm not even feeling fantastic. I won. My team feels better about me. I can get mentally on this roll.
It's also the Rangers.
Yep.
And then there's James Reimer, who also has played one AHL game in the last week. Didn't look great. Has had one practice with the team. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad option to hold him out until this weekend. I assume you're going to have to play probably one of them on the weekend.
Well, the issue is with the back-to-back coming up Detroit, Montreal.
Right.
Right? Maybe you do want Merolainen going back-to-back.
Maybe you do.
In those games.
Because those are the big ones that if you're
right.
serious about trying to make up some ground and get a playoff spot, you've got to beat those teams.
The problem is if you start Merolainen tomorrow and he wins, 2 days off, you're starting him at home against Montreal.
Absolutely.
Right. You probably have to go to Reimer in Detroit because it's a 5:00 start with travel, and you can't ask Merolainen. You're actually probably putting him in danger by starting him back-to-backs on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Sunday.
Right. A revenge game for Reimer, former Red Wing?
Former every team
pretty much
in the league? I would really want to start Merolainen tomorrow, but I would also start Reimer.
Right. I think that's the dilemma. There's a great argument for both.
Right.
I'm definitely interested to see what we see from Travis Green. I think it's going to be certainly something we talk about a lot on the pregame tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Z Gibbon, just to finish off the last thought, I remember our old boss at TSN asked if I was 31 or 32 when I was 21. Yeah, I mean, I think that was the boss being polite at 31, 32.
If you lose the beard, though, that can affect it. I know, like, if I shave my beard, I look like 17.
Oh, imagine if Zach shaved his beard, babyface. Although Ben would give him a run. Babyface Ben.
I almost feel like, I guess this wouldn't work because you'd be involved, but if we did like a rumble pool or something, and like loser has to shave their beard or something.
Oh, I would. The way I look now is I can't even remember the last time I shaved.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't. I'm a unicorn, pal. Okay. Ethan says, James Reimer. This is hard for me to say as a fan of Levy's, but you don't start a goalie back-to-back full stop. I don't agree with that at all. Like, Sergei Bobrovsky plays like 80% of the Panthers games. He's just fine.
Merolainen's also not Sergei Bobrovsky, though.
Merolainen's the only capable goaltender on this team right now.
Right.
If you think you can still make the playoffs, which I'm imagining Travis Green and some of the other players think that they can, he is your best option.
For sure.
Then it's not full stop, Ethan. Sorry. Oh, thanks, Ben. Like, yeah, great. Okay. I do thank Ethan and Zach for being somewhat relevant in this chat. I understand Ben's relaxed. It's his birthday. Mine's not quite there at his old age, but you got to be a little bit better here on the chat. One of the nicknames I had in college was Babyface, just to give you an idea of me without a beard. How old, Zach, were you when you went to college? Like 19, Babyface? When's the last time you were completely babyface, Tanner?
2 years ago, give or take.
And then once you started to grow it, it's...
I shaved it once because my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I want to see what you look like and see if you change it all."
And
I shaved it. I went to work the next day. One of our video editors looked at me. He's like, "What'd you do, man? Don't do that." And she's still...
But what did your girlfriend say, more importantly?
Like, "Oh, yeah, it hasn't changed that much. It's good, but I don't care either way."
Oh, she didn't care?
No, she's very sweet. She doesn't mind either way, but I was like, "Oh my God, this thing can't grow back fast enough."
So I can tell you that since I was born, like as a kid, I never saw my father without a beard. Came home one day, like after grade 9, 10, early high school. And all of a sudden he came down the stairs and he didn't have a beard. And it like freaked me out. Like and he had just made a mistake, right? In shaving it and had to shave it off because he put like a big mark on it. No word of a lie. My stepmom was like, "Well, I'm going to sleep in the other room and I'll take a picture with me to remember you." And she slept in the other room until he grew back.
Wow.
She did not. She had never seen him either. Never. Like in her whole life had never seen him. And this was not the first time. She didn't love it. She was not as sweet as your girlfriend. However, it's an interesting, because if you lose tomorrow night because James Reimer isn't as sharp,
puts a lot of pressure on this weekend.
Right. There's a good argument with the amount of work that Merolainen did not do tonight. Like, he was not stretched out.
No.
There was nothing hard about that game.
He was probably challenged more in practice today.
Right. For a goalie, that was one of the easiest games you're going to have. I would start Reimer and probably hope that my team would rally around a veteran that hasn't played much, that's coming in to try and help the team. That the Bradys of the world would be like, "Hey, we're going to win this one for him. We're going to make it easy for him." Giving the opportunity for Merolainen to go back to back. Because if Merolainen and Ottawa beat Montreal on Saturday, I just don't know how against Detroit on Sunday you can go away from it when those are the two of the teams you absolutely have to pull back to. I just don't know how you do it. But this is the situation that they're in with Allmark gone. And it's been a tough spot. So I guess ultimately I would start Reimer and hope that the team would rally around a guy and make it easy for him against, quite frankly, a pretty bad Ranger team as well, who doesn't play well at home either, the Rangers.
Oh, yeah. And I know we talked about going to Levy about being ready, but maybe you also need to go to Reimer and say, "Hey, are you ready to step into an NHL game? You've had one you've signed your ATO, you've played an AHL game, you signed a PTO within 3 days, got your first practice and watched one game from the press box." Like, you pull him aside as a veteran guy and be like, "Hey, are you ready for like an NHL game right now?"
Right.
And you hope he answers honestly.
Because, and you have more of a chance to hear an honest answer from him saying, "Look, I want to be ready. I'm doing everything I can to be ready, and I probably can be ready by the weekend."
Right.
That's still not going to get you like in trouble or anything. It's not like people would appreciate the honesty more than they would putting you in and having the Rangers beat Ottawa 6-1 tomorrow night, and you're just back to nothing. 2-1, the Ottawa Senators defeat the Vancouver Canucks. This is overtime on OSN. Lee Versage and Tanner Ryle with you. Some of the players that might be available. You were focused in on one right shot D tonight that caught your eye.
Yeah. So there's a lot of names that have been out there with the Canucks, and it's not surprising given where they're at. And since we saw the whole JT Miller, Elias Pettersson thing last season, Quinn Hughes out the door, and over the weekend, their GM saying, hey, we're entering a rebuild. There's pretty much everybody on our roster we're going to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a few names that are out there more just based on contract status. But if there's one guy that I could take from Vancouver, it's Philip Hronek. He is signed through 2031-32 at a cap hit of just over $7 million. They brought him in from the Red Wings to be Quinn Hughes' partner and let him really unlock himself. You know what he did that season? He won the Norris Trophy. A right shot. He plays top four. He does have a full no move, so you would have to convince him to come here, but he's signed with term. Excellent cap hit. Vancouver needs forwards, needs centers, something Ottawa has plenty of. He is the perfect guy you could bring in and slot beside Jake Sanderson if you really want to unlock Jake Sanderson and improve the right shot depth, because it's not good enough right now. You're really banking on Carter Yakimchuk to hit as a prospect.
Right.
And if he doesn't, you're in trouble.
Yeah, there's nothing behind him.
There's Hensler, but his World Juniors weren't exactly great, and you hope he still develops into an NHLer, but
it's a long time away.
Right. And they need help now. And like I said, I was looking at his age earlier. Hronek's 28 years old. Fits right in with this core.
Watch him play tonight, especially after you said that. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to focus in on him. Very smart hockey player. Is this, though, and I'm not comparing them, I'm asking your opinion on when they traded Jacob Chikrin in one of, right now, the worst trades this franchise has ever made. And that's hard for Sens fans to hear, but just go look at Jacob Chikrin in the last year and a half. Other than Cale Makar, is the best defenseman in the league. And he will be up for the Norris Trophy this year. So Jensen reminds me a little bit like when they first got Jensen, I'm like, well, he compliments Thomas Chabot so well. He does all the little things right. Is there any comparison in your mind?
To me, no, because Hronek's significantly younger than Jensen when he was brought over, and certainly has more name value around the NHL. He's going to cost a lot more to acquire, and that's if he'll even waive that full no move.
You'd have to think that he would be thinking, like, where else can I go?
Right.
And if that's the case, that's a prime asset for the Canucks.
Oh, yeah. But if you could talk him into saying, hey, we've got this young left shot offensive defenseman, plays pretty similar to Quinn Hughes, not as offensively flashy, but come play alongside him for the next 7 years.
One of the things that would be interesting to me, if I'm Jim Rutherford, maybe there's a team out there that I can get a good haul from and say, hey, I'm going to attach Pettersson with Hronek, and to be like, you're going to take the cap hits. Like, those cap hits are coming off of our books, and we'll get kind of the haul, but for Hronek, but you have to take Pettersson at full value.
You're asking if I'd do that as the Senators?
Yeah.
I think it's a non-starter. That's $11.5 million. Is that what Pettersson's making?
Yeah.
So you'd be taking on $18 million in cap space. Where are you getting that
Cap's
from?
going up.
Right. But is Pettersson the type of player that the Senators need right now? They're loaded at the center position.
You just told me that the other guys really would unlock the best player on the team. Because then wouldn't you just move like Thomas Chabot at that point?
Well, no, because Hronek's a right shot, so you'd play him with Sanderson.
Yeah, but $8 million on the back end for a guy that's, I would say, an average NHL defenseman. You could get something for Chabot,
Sure.
but you could get that money off of your books.
Sure, but then do you have Clevin as your second pair left shot defenseman? Like, I don't see what value there is in bringing Pettersson in. I'm sure it makes it more attractive to the Canucks, but I think if you could offer them a young forward or a solid pick, I think they'd bite maybe.
I'm just saying, if I'm Jim
Hronek.
Rutherford, maybe I attach those two together so I can get all of that off of my books.
For sure, maybe to another team. But I think Pettersson has negative value, whereas Hronek would probably get you a solid.
You don't think
big
a
back.
fresh start with that guy
Maybe,
could
but
really unlock him, the word of the night, that a fresh start, I don't know. I don't know what would happen with a fresh start, but I don't know a player that could use one more than that guy.
For sure. And I don't think Ottawa is that right team. Maybe if we didn't have Cousins and Pinto and so much center depth, but that's the last position they need to add. If you're talking about maybe like a Jake DeBrusk, that's another name that I'd maybe consider if I were the Sens.
How about that stat? He's got 11 of his 12 goals this year on the power play.
Lee, he hasn't scored since November.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not April, but that's coming up soon. No. So we'll get there.
All right. But DeBrusk is a guy I'd look at before him. I'd be asking about Connor Garland. He's locked up for a while. He plays kind of that style. I know the name everybody's going to be after is Kiefer Sherwood. I'm sure Staios would be all over that. Screams his type of player. He's making $1.5 million right now on an expiring contract. Somebody's going to pay a lot for Kiefer Sherwood, a playoff team.
Yep.
I don't imagine the Senators will be able to do that, but if Rutherford can turn Kiefer Sherwood into a first-round pick, it's pretty good.
You would think he would be able to.
I think so.
Because as you said, you're basically getting the guy for nothing.
And he led the league in hits last year. Plays with that snarl that you want in the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, he's the type of player you want on your team to add at a deadline. Just looking at the out-of-town scoreboard here, again, not a lot of favors done for the Ottawa Senators because the Tampa Bay Lightning defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in a shootout. So that's a 3-point game.
That's 11 straight for Tampa.
The Montreal Canadiens led 2-0. Washington comes back, ties it up in the third, and wins it in overtime. That's a 3-point game. The Capitals 3-2 in OT over the Canadiens. I don't really care that the Blue Jackets won.
Well, that keeps them tied with Ottawa right now in the standings.
Yeah, but the Boston Bruins won again. Now, it comes at the expense of the Red Wings, but the Bruins are playing some really good hockey right now. The Leafs down 1-0 early in Utah. That game just underway, only about 8 minutes in. And it's 3-3, the Oilers and the Preds. But how about Connor McDavid, a 20-game point streak?
It's pretty impressive.
The highest of his career.
It's a pretty good player, if you haven't heard.
Which actually surprised me. I don't know why. Like 20 games for a point streak's pretty good. I just kind of expected that McDavid would have done that already.
Yeah.
But
they got some help back today, too. They got Jari and Wallman back.
That's big for them.
Might make Connor Ingram an interesting name to watch as well.
Yep.
He might need waivers to go back down. I think it's in another 10 days or so.
We'll see what the Preds do with Steven Stamkos. Got his 20th goal of the year. That game's not over yet. Goal 602 in his career, but 20 goals before the end of January for the old man. He'll be worth something at the deadline as well.
That's if they're willing to sell him off. The Predators are over 500 right now, and the West is a little bit more forgiving. It's a bit easier to sneak into one of those spots. So you never know.
Ben back in on the chat says also his birthday today. I
think he sent it just after we said the McDavid thing.
Oh, yeah? Well, it'd be nice if the person texting in on the chat would refer to...
It's McDavid.
See, that's a good host, right? Ben, you're lucky there is a good host here that would know something. We said about 18 names. Tanner dialed in. So, this begs the question. I know a lot of people don't want the Ottawa Senators to be sellers because there's still a hope that they can get back in it. But I think if you're realistic with yourself and you watch them hang on against the worst team in the league tonight, and they've lost 4 in a row, and their defense isn't very good, and their goaltending is an absolute mess, they are sellers. Or they should be sellers. Who would you consider moving? Because people are going to come and ask about everyone on this team. Everyone. Whether they have no moves or not, they're going to come and ask. Because if you're not doing your job as a GM, if you're not calling the teams that are pretty much out of it and inquiring about every player.
Certainly before I sell anybody off, I'm definitely waiting a little bit, maybe that 7 to 10 days, as was speculated on insider trading.
I hope you saw my eye roll, folks.
I would give this team a bit of a chance to get back into it, but being realistic, we're probably heading in that direction. So,
don't miss a chance to hit a home run here.
Anybody on an expiring contract, you can get anything for Nick Jensen, Nick Cousins, David Perron.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about just getting rid of them for no reason. I'm talking about if people are going to come and ask, who are the absolute no-goes?
Certainly Sanderson, Stützle, Tkachuk would be the big three. I'd throw Pinto into that group of untouchables for me. Batherson would be the next guy, but I wouldn't consider him untouchable if the right offer came around, but it would have to really blow you away. But aside from those guys, I think I'd listen on pretty much anybody.
I think I'd listen to anybody except for Jake Sanderson.
You would listen on Tim Stützle?
I would listen.
Wow.
That doesn't mean I would. I wouldn't listen on Jake Sanderson. I just wouldn't.
For sure.
He's got now what looks like an amazing contract, and he's going to be like a top 5 defenseman in the league every year if he doesn't get hurt. Like, you just can't acquire that.
No.
Part of the Tim Stützle, who's amazing, and this conversation sometimes ends up being a negative conversation when it's, I would listen to anybody because of what, like, where they're going and what they're doing. But I even said to you tonight, like, watch this play. I know you're reading the text, you're reading about Brady. I know, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Folks, Tanner easily distracted when things like this come up.
I'm multitasking. I'm listening.
I'm saying that there was a reason why, because you're like, oh, yeah, your mind starts going, because it's like, I wouldn't do that either, Ethan. But there's a play tonight, and it was a little play, and it didn't really mean anything. But the Senators kind of turned the puck over. They got it in about the red line. They were going in. They were going to have a fairly good chance on goal. It was going to be an odd man rush. And what happened? It was offside. Why was it offside?
Because Stützle took too long to get to the bench for his line change.
Because he literally just stopped and didn't care what was happening on the ice. It was just like, I'm mad that something happened 2 seconds before. I had a good chance and I didn't get it. And he kind of sulked. Now, it's such a small thing.
It's probably the biggest knock on his game right now.
The value for Tim Stützle is through the roof.
Yeah.
The reason, so I would listen on Brady, and there's a text in here that caught your attention. Roenick and Sherwood and a high pick for Brady.
I'm asking for a whole lot more than that for Brady Tkachuk.
Well, if they win the lottery and it's the number 1 pick, now I can probably, now I'm going to pick the phone back up if you want to talk about Brady.
Yeah. But there's no way Vancouver is giving up Gavin McKenna for Brady Tkachuk.
I would agree.
If they do, you take that and you run.
But Eden says, I'll say somewhat of a hot take. Brady should get traded and a bunch of people who will fill out the lineup.
How'd that go for Calgary? Well, I guess Huberdeau and Weegar aren't exactly people that fill out your lineup, but
yeah, but Weegar ended up being okay.
Yeah, and Huberdeau was a 100-point player before that.
Yeah. But to your point,
you better be getting something good if you're moving Brady.
Brady Tkachuk, you know that Brady Tkachuk is going to go somewhere and be a star.
Oh, yeah. And it's not like he's on an expiring deal. He's like 3 years out.
No.
So there's no rush on that unless he comes to you and says, hey, I'm not playing another game for you. Trade me right now. Which I just don't see Brady Tkachuk being that type of guy. Like, he's going to get better. I know he's slumping right now. He's going to play better. And when he does, if you were to sell low on him right now, you're going to regret that a lot.
Agreed. His value could be much higher as a player. He's had a tough year. I mean, it started in the first game, and
he's not 100% right now. I don't think.
From the hand injury to the surgery to kind of being the face of a controversy in Ottawa because he's the captain and he's using the language and all that stuff, where he really hasn't been a dominant player on the ice. As you said, there's reasons. I think he will be again, whether it's here or somewhere else. So Jack comes in and says, I'd listen to anybody except for Stützle and Sanderson. Yeah, I think Stützle's value is very, very, very high right now. I think you could get so much for Tim Stützle.
Yeah, I just don't see a world where it'd be worth it.
Do we just assume that if Brady is gone at some point, that Tim still wants to be here?
I would think so.
Okay. That's good.
We depend on the circumstances for sure.
The last time the Sens traded their number one center, it went very well for them. Wait a minute. Nope.
Like Spezza? And Turris? Like,
I actually don't know who he's referring to.
there's a few that could fit there. Like number one centers. The last one I feel like we had before Timmy was like, again, like Turris maybe, but he's not like up.
I'm not even sure Kyle Turris was a number one.
He's a number two on most other teams. Spezza, like that wasn't a terrible thing. It's not like Spezza went and tore it up whenever he left in Dallas and Toronto.
Why am I blanking that he's probably thinking of somebody else?
Like, is he thinking Mark Stone? Because Stone's a winger. Because that trade was terrible.
Turris wasn't a number one. Yes, we discovered that.
For sure.
Who were you talking about? Jason Spezza?
Duchesne?
Point being is I would listen, and I think people are going to be calling and asking.
Sure.
You can't keep everybody if you actually want to turn things around, right?
Of course.
So I would agree. It's Brady, it's Tim, it's Jake. I would put Shane Pinto fourth on that list.
Me too.
Which always seems... Yeah, it is Jason Spezza.
I remember the return was terrible. Wasn't it like, was it Chasson that we got back?
It's Chiasson.
Okay.
Alex Chiasson.
I was stuck. I thought it was either him or Alish Hemsky. Sens legend right there.
But it's not like Spezza went and dominated.
No, he didn't really do much.
Oilers and Preds off to overtime. 3-3.
But yeah, Shane Pinto was a guy that I'd put fourth. I mean, such a good defensive player. Started to show his offensive upside before he got hurt. Big part of the locker room there. You just signed him to a great deal.
Right. But who has value then? Who if you want to, that's the problem, right? If you want to keep everyone, we're never trading this guy, never trading that guy. Okay. But then who has value for other teams to come a calling who you would consider?
Just based on how much he could get you, I think you have to listen on Drake Batherson. I would have him at number 5 on my list in terms of like value to this organization because he's playing so well this year with Tim Stützle. But there's always that chance that maybe this nearly point a game per season isn't going to be replicated, and also be signed for 2 years at $4.9 million,
Great
which is
contract.
an absolute bargain. He's going to get, I mean, with the way that they're handing contracts out, probably 10 million plus on his next deal. He could be that level of player.
Yeah. I
Maybe
mean,
with the way the cap's going in 3 years, who knows?
Trending. He's a point a game player right now.
Yeah. So if you feel like you can win a Drake Batherson trade, then that's definitely one I would entertain. Dylan Cousins, I feel like, you just acquired him a year ago. You've got Shane Pinto right there. That's definitely ready for that responsibility of a number 2 center. And then the other one being, of course, if Giroux says, hey, I'd like to go get a chance at winning a Stanley Cup, you got to do that player right. And I'm sure some team would give up quite a bit for him based on the way he's playing right now, based on the experience.
He's the perfect deadline acquisition.
It pains me to say it, but he is.
For anybody. Like, that guy could go into any lineup and be on a third line and kill penalties and take great, big face-offs and do all the little things for you. He would be an incredible deadline acquisition for anybody.
I'd wonder about a Ridley Gregg as well. Ethan also pointing out Stephen Halliday.
Yeah.
They definitely have a long.
Yeah, look. Stephen Halliday is a guy that has way more value in Ethan's eyes and in eyes around this part than he would. Not that other teams wouldn't be interested, but they're not giving anything up to go get the guy. Ridley Gregg is kind of that guy where I have expected more this year.
He's been a little streaky.
Yeah, and he's been injured for sure. But how injured, how much of the injury has been a part of his bad play? I don't know the answer to that.
You see, if you're going for a guy like Hronek, and the Canucks have been looking for centers and young forwards, I think Ridley Gregg might be that guy that you might have to build a package around if the Canucks are interested.
I put the stats back up, making Tanner uncomfortable sitting closer to you now, but the stats are back up again. 2-1 the final score. The Ottawa Senators beat the Vancouver Canucks. They outshoot them by more than 2-1. Good game for Levi Merrilainen. Lankinen was fantastic in goal for Vancouver. 2 goals in 15 seconds. Jordan Spence, Artem Zub, your goal scorers. And if you had both of them scoring tonight, then you probably did well in a parlay. So, yeah, I would take offers. I'm trying to think of who has real value on this team. And I think the people to me that have value are unfortunately the people that we're talking about.
You think a team would bite on Shabbat?
Not for. The problem is you got to take $8 million for. I would call him a average defenseman in the league. That's probably worth, $4 or $5 million, and so you're not going to get anything back from.
Right.
And then at that point, why are you trading him? If you're trading him because you want to clear some cap space and some room because you have bigger plans, okay, I'm here for that. Like I will listen to that. But to trade him just to trade him, you're not going to get anything back. What you're going to get is your cap space back.
Right.
I can't see much more than that.
It does feel like to me, though, if this season ends up being a complete wash, that Staios might try to make a big swing like that. It's been reported a lot by the media. He's out there. He's trying to find that big move. Couldn't find anything in the offseason. Feels a little bit like Zetterlund Cousins, where we didn't see it coming, but he strikes at the core, sends Josh Norris out, and brings a solid young player in.
Ethan says, I would say Amadio has some good value, good deal. Defensive shutdown player, wins battles, drives play. But again, could be a local bias. I don't deny that. Oh, Ethan, finally with a little perspective on himself. That's nice to hear.
Yeah. Amadio's not an expiring deal. I don't think he's someone I would rush to move unless a team's really trying to blow you away.
I actually think, to Ethan's point, I think when you watch Amadio play, he's a really smart player.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hurt you ever. The biggest time I think he hurt me all year was when I saw him interviewed at the intermission tonight. Not the greatest interview, but why would you you're not going to get anything for him.
Exactly. I feel like you're better just keeping him.
Somebody would want him as a deadline acquisition, but give you like a 3rd or 4th round pick. And you're probably better with him in your lineup.
Yeah.
To show people how to play the right way. Because he does most of the time. You can really count on that guy. So understand what you're saying, Ethan. The only trades you can make, says Ben, at this point are hockey trades, expiring contracts. Jensen, Perron, Giroux. If he asks, you don't trade Greg, you'll spend years trying to get another Greg.
Yeah, it has to be a hockey trade if you're even considering moving Greg. I mean, he's an RFA after that. That's why I said I think if you were to get on with Rutherford and figure out a deal involving Hronek and Greg in some sort of package between those players, Vancouver doesn't really need Hronek right now, and they need young forwards. We need a right shot defenseman. The Ottawa Senators need a right shot defenseman.
He corrected himself. Ethan's got some perspective on himself, and you're correcting yourself. We are getting somewhere early here.
We're on the up and up. It's only up from here. It can't get worse.
That's not true.
Well, our stream's still up, so that's definitely an improvement from the pregame.
We got a nice graphic. I feel like we're rolling now. Things are good. I'm trying to understand you'll spend years trying to get another Greg. What? Is he not your fourth line center?
Depends if you're playing him at center or on the wing, but
okay.
I
so
feel
if
like
you're playing him on the wing, is he a third line guy?
More than likely. Due to Ottawa right now, maybe he's a second liner. It's kind of him or Perron, and that's kind of a part of this is Ottawa's really lacking another top six forward.
Okay. Can we back off on you'll spend years trying to get another Ridley Gregg?
If he hits, sure. If he turns into like a Brad Marchand light, then yeah, you're going to regret it.
Do you see Brad Marchand in Ridley Gregg's game?
I see flashes. And I think he's still pretty young.
Okay. I think Brad Marchand was a way better player.
Oh, for sure.
Earlier. And I understand the pesky comparison. I am not in the camp of you will spend years trying to find another Ridley Gregg, because right now he is the fourth best center on the third worst. Well, I guess they're not the third worst.
Second worst team in the East.
Second worst team in the East. Like Ridley Gregg is the fourth line center on a really bad hockey team. But you're going to spend years to try and get another one. Okay.
Potential wise, sure, but he's not really showing that right now.
I'll just leave this as my last point on Brady. Any team will pay for him and pay big no matter what with how he's played all year. If you trade for players like DeBrusk, Sherwood, Roenick, you'll get a huge boost to your team with a move like that in a more complete roster.
What does that say to your roster, trading away your captain who's a stud superstar like that? I don't think I'd trade Brady for DeBrusk, Sherwood, and Hronek.
No.
God, no.
You wouldn't even think about that deal. So, Ethan, imagine what it would do to your team. Your whole team would be the most deflated team in the world if they traded Brady Tkachuk for those three guys. I'm sure they're decent players, but come on. That's
none of them even sniff Brady Tkachuk.
That is ludicrous.
There's not a player on that roster that I would.
But maybe Ethan's just trying to make us crazy.
Maybe.
I think I would have to go in, if a team is really going to come calling and offer you something decent, would you be?
There's one I've thought of.
Would you be willing to give up Pinto or Batherson?
Yeah, if it was the right offer, it would have to take a lot, but yeah. I know there's one player a lot of Sens fans have circled online.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting moved at all because he's one of the best goal scorers in the NHL right now, but the Dallas Stars don't have a lot of cap space, and Jason Robertson is an RFA at the end of the year.
Right.
If you had a call on a deal of Robertson for some package that involved Pinto, Batherson, what if they called, hey, let's do Robertson for Tkachuk 1-for-1? I'd think about it. I don't know if I'd do it, but I would think about it. For a package around Batherson and Pinto, I'd probably think a little harder. Because I think they are lacking a left winger that can keep up with Tim Stützle.
That's interesting.
I don't think it happens. I don't see Dallas moving that player.
Well, Pinto and Batherson? Both of them for...
That'd be tough because that would definitely leave another hole that you're already trying to fill on the roster.
Yeah. But Robertson's a better player than both of them.
Oh, for sure.
So...
But it doesn't matter if he doesn't have anybody good on his line.
Well, Tkachuk and Stützle would still be here.
Then we're a one-line team. Your second line, Cousins, Zetterlund, Giroux.
What are they now?
Very true.
You're going to tell me that they spread their offense around and they don't really have a first line? Who is their first line? Whoever it is, it's not great.
No.
So,
and Travis Green doesn't even know at this point. We've seen, I think, 4 in the last week.
Exactly. So until you get one,
It's an interesting train of thought. I don't think Dallas moves that player. But if there was a deal to be had, of course, with an extension in place, you'd have to think about it for sure.
Jason Robertson is going to get paid.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan. Okay, it doesn't have to be those guys, but if somebody calls and offers you some huge players, you take it. Problem with that trade right now is Batherson's the only one who can keep up with Tim. Just losing one guy with speed for another upgrade.
But Robertson can keep up with Tim Stützle much better than Drake Batherson.
Yeah, Batherson really, I think the best thing about him is that he's so smart in the zone that he can be there. But as far as like keeping up with Tim Stützle, Drake Batherson's nowhere near the Jason Robertsons and the Tim Stützles of the world when it comes to like actual speed.
And Robertson is a shooter.
Right.
Something that this team has lacked at times, trying to make Tim Stützle be that guy when maybe he's not.
Trying to drill it into him. I know that. He probably needs to shoot more.
No, he definitely does.
So if the Senators beat the Rangers tomorrow with James Reimer in net, does that gain some of your confidence back?
It depends on the fashion, because this game beating the Canucks 2-1 when you doubled them in shots on goal doesn't exactly scream confidence. No goals from your forwards.
No, look, the Senators played well. I liked their energy tonight. And with their energy, they kind of showed that Vancouver is a bad hockey team.
Yeah.
Ottawa was in control, and they looked like they cared, which they didn't look like to me the other night against Florida. So I'm going to give them that, but still they were hanging on to beat a really, really bad team.
Right.
So I do give them a lot of credit. They had energy tonight. They looked like it mattered to them. Vancouver hardly came out of their own end in the first period. So that's all they can do. But as the game went along, it's like, where's the ability to just put the team away and like beat them 5-1 and be done with this?
Yeah. Like a win tomorrow, I don't think is going to change my stock in the team too much.
Okay.
I think it's the weekend, really. If you can show that you can hang with a Detroit or a Montreal, and Montreal's really had their number the last couple of seasons. Detroit kind of embarrassed them on Monday. Those are the teams that you need to show up against if you want to prove to this fan base that there's still a chance for the Senators to make a push towards a playoff spot.
Well, it'll be an electric atmosphere on Saturday back here against Montreal. But first, they go to Madison Square Garden to face the Rangers tomorrow night, 7:30. I know this is overtime. We'll be back. You'll be in your palatial Barhaven estate at that point. Would direct you to This Is OSN, and had a nice conversation, which I think his face is actually up there now. James Duke Ellingson.
Yep, when the video's live under our
there it
channel.
is. NFL playoff recap with Duke Ellingson. I had a really good chat with him, testing out some things with him as well. I don't know if I would direct people to our pregame.
Thanks to anybody that stuck around through that mess.
That's okay. You know, we got to figure it out. So lots of things to come. But big game tomorrow night, and you and I will be here in some different fashions to help a little preview of it tomorrow before the game. You can join us right before the game, join us after the game. Tomorrow night, this has been fun.
Yeah. Click that subscribe button and that notification so you know when the live is going up as well. Don't miss that. Small channel, so you might not be in your subscription box every time. So hit that bell.
Hit the bell. I like it. Subscribe, folks. Hit that follow button. That's what they all say.
Subscribe for now. Once we get on the other platforms, it'll be follow.
Oh, okay.
YouTube still likes it that way.
Okay. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Tell your friends. Thank you, Ethan, very much. And thank you, Ben, very much. Seems like Z Gibbon took a hike about halfway through. But appreciate the help along the way here to help us get along, and feels like a little, as you said, everyone's kind of on the ground floor here, and we're doing the work.
Hopefully getting 1% better every stream.
Well, that graphic says
That's
way
a lot
more
more.
than 1% better.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 2% worse, so the graphic would have to be at least 3%.
Yeah.
And you didn't say we nearly as many times. Although you said it at the end and I didn't correct you. I was like, I'm gonna let this one go. But but by pointing it out now, I guess I didn't let it go.
No.
And I feel like that's a good way to end.
Gonna go home and just watch through and try and find it.
Right at the very end. 2-1. The Ottawa Senators defeat the Vancouver Canucks. The name too, gents. That's a big step. See? This is overtime, baby. Love it. Do you like it, Ethan? The name?
I sent it to our group chat and he said he did.
Oh, okay.
Julian did as well. I don't think he's in the post, but he was here in the
But be
pregame.
honest, because this isn't like I want you to love something that we're saying. The idea is to get the name right between all of us. And I kind of feel like Julian and Ethan and Ben and Chris and Zach, and we're all here on the ground floor. We're all doing this together. It's like, if there's a better name, all ears. No, Ethan says he really does like it.
There we go.
And he gained some self-perspective too. Ethan, like, this is probably the first time ever, right? That he has ever, like, in his entire life.
It's about time.
He deals with all these politicians now.
I know.
It's nice that he comes back to the real people at night after his day job. Ethan, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We're going to let Tanner go home. Thank you for listening to This Is Overtime. 2-1, the Senators defeat the Vancouver Canucks. And the game 7:30 tomorrow night at MSG. I want to go to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Remember when Brady fought Trouba at center ice?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I walked outside it once. I saw the marquee, but that was about it.
I think I have as well.
One day we will get there. Again, happy birthday, Ben. Thanks for spending some of your birthday with us. We appreciate that as well. And we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for being with us on This Is Overtime on OSN.